Round 2 of Tutuca bench. Today we are going to try Codex and another open weights model. So I'm going to start like in the previous video by ejecting the counter example and unzipping it and copying it to Codex and code. Then going to Codex and copying the Claude skill to the agents folder so that Codex can see it, and start Codex and start the server 8001 and say let's say that, let's launch it. Now let's go to counter OpenCode, open codes. And today I'm using MiniMax 2.5 and I'm going to say the same thing. And let's start. Well, that was pretty fast. I mean, it's still not working, but MiniMax seems to be better than Big Pickle, at least for this. I didn't see if it loaded the skill. Yeah, it loaded both skills. Like there are 3 skills, like the one for the framework, the one for the UI component library I use by default. There's one for immutable that it didn't load, and it loaded some of the progressively exposed sub skills. So that's useful. That's the idea of how the skills are structured. And now it's editing. MiniMax seems to be faster, not necessarily better, but faster. And it's doing the expected thing of running the linter. Still, it's hallucinating syntax in ways I haven't seen other models do, like null syntax for the framework. But it's useful to see like what LLMs hallucinate to add linters. And the generic linter of invalid syntax for a directive is catching them, but still, like I always have to check the transcript and see if they are trying to do something that no linter rule is catching, or if they try to solve a problem by imagining something. Well, Codex is pretty slow. I don't use Codex, so my first experience with it. So, but like pretty slow. Just now, like installed the tool. Some install it and some use NPX. Both are okay. I think NPX is a little bit slower to start. So now it's writing the components, it's testing. Let's see how much it hallucinates. It's wanted to start a server. Yeah, let's allow it. It's the first one that tries to start the server. The idea of having a CLI with like a linter and a render to HTML and a test runner is that they don't need to start a server to check, but this Codex seems to want to do that, so doesn't seem to be progressing. I don't know what that is. Let's see if it's the cache. Yeah, it's the cache. Let's see here. Pretty aggressive caching by Chrome. So yeah, like can create tasks. I can mark them as done. I can edit and double click. I can filter. The UI is really similar to one I did yesterday. All the filters work. Remove works. Everything works. One shot. And this one looks pretty good. Well, not that good. I don't know what that is. Let's see. It doesn't work. Like the I forced it to load the skills for the style. I did yesterday, I think, for Big Pickle too. And now for some reason, yeah, it's still hallucinating syntax. It's hallucinated conditional syntax. I don't know if it loaded the Tutuca skill, so I'm just forcing it to load it. It's the last chance I'm giving it. This is probably the worst, even worse than Big Pickle in terms of what it did. Probably now is going to get better. Like from what I've seen from either from OpenCode or from the open weights models, they don't seem to load the skills and they just hallucinate. Probably it's the harness that doesn't hint enough about skills. I don't know if it's like a workflow of OpenCode that you usually load the skills manually, but in Claude Code, in Gemini and Codex, usually the model loads the skills as they need. Now it's rendering to HTML to see what it was rendered. Oh, I forgot to do the next step. Tabs and the prompts are not like exact. I have to write them now, but they are similar. Let's see how it's going. This is better. I don't know what that is over there. Yeah, this makes sense. It loaded the tab file, so that's a good sign. There's always like a pitfall of like Tailwind style conditional classes that are not in the views that I added to the skill. I don't know if it's in this version, but almost all of them trip over it because if you're using the Tailwind CLI, it will catch classes even outside of HTML views, even if it's inside strings inside JavaScript. But yeah, for this, I only extract classes from the views. So if you're returning them from a method, you have to put them in some view so that it's picked up. Let's see. Ah, nice. Oh, that's nice. One-shotted. It's and let's do the last one. I copied the CRUD thing. Still fighting. Oh, this is done. Let's see. I don't know. Still broken. And I think this is the worst. Because Big Pickle yesterday, after loading manually the skills, it managed to make something work. It's trying to install Vite for some reason. But MiniMax is a pretty small model, like, so it's okay. But it's interesting, like that there's a size or like some limit where models below it can't make something work like this, but at some point they start, like with skills and a CLI that guides them, they manage to get the correct thing. Even after hallucinating stuff at the beginning, they at some point, when they get enough of the skill and like they use the CLI for the feedback and they write enough working code themselves, then after that they just write correct code. But yeah, open models that are small. I haven't tried a big one like a 1 trillion parameter open weight model. Next, that will be the next one. So it wrote the thing. I can what YBCBUBD. It's like create, update, delete, but I don't know why the labels. Let's see. Update, delete, create, one shot. I think Codex won, even better than Claude Code. And let's see. Well, yeah. Other than like this weird thing here that is just one extra prompt and the name of the buttons, it's amazing, like better than Claude Code. And let's give one last chance to this. Yeah, it's still like completely broken. Okay, so I would say like the final leaderboard is Codex first, Claude Code second, Gemini third. Gemini still wins at style, like, and second place to Codex, even with this, but it looks nicer than Claude Code. Then fourth, Big Pickle, and fifth, the MiniMax